the regional coordination. We cannot, like everybody have been saying today in this meeting, that we cannot operate in silos. That regional coordination is required so that we can borrow best practices from the other side. We can come in tandem, like what I was asking Colonel. For example, we can do the speed rails, which are green, or other infrastructure, both inside the port or outside the port. And I think the very, very critical one is borrowing best practices. Because if you look, like, for example, the Port of Mombasa, I know that we have been doing that, and KP employees are here. We have been trying to see how we can do shore power, albeit it has not happened in a bigger way. But I know for the small boats, there's shore power. They are also trying to do a lot of solar in the ports and other things. I think up to that juncture, I think there are some issues that are pointed out how public-private sector can accelerate decarbonization. Number one is mobilizing capital and innovation. At that end, the private sector funds and gives technology and expertise. And like I mentioned, this will enable them to, the government and the private sector, or public and private sector, will enable them to do large-scale projects that otherwise the government alone could not have done. The other very important aspect is risk sharing. Public entities can share investments. I mean, because they have the muscles to pump in the money. But then the implementation must be assisted by the government. So there'll be a sort of a risk sharing element there. The other issue that I had seen was driving infrastructural development. If they partner, essential low carbon infrastructure can be realized by both parties. For example, the EVs, the electronic vehicles, and other infrastructures like the ports handling equipment, STS, RTGs, terminal tractors that are electrical, and so on and so forth. And the other very important issue is they can leverage on digital and circular economy models. When they integrate in the, for example, in the IoT, Intelligent of Things, big data collection can be realized by both parties and sharing from both parties. And of course, like Madam mentioned here, our able ambassador is the policy integration. The government can create enabling policy for private investors so that they can lure more investments in the country. And I think from a regional perspective, there are so many ways that regions can collaborate. Number one is cross-border projects. For example, Kenya and Tanzania can be doing projects in tandem to see how maybe what works well in Tanzania does not work well in Kenya. So they can meet somewhere in the middle to have a symbiotic sort of a relationship. And of course, they can do some sharing of resources from the region. And when they do this, they will then realize economy of skills from the regional integration. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that was the last question that we had for today, right? Okay. So today's discussions have been very rich, and I feel like the real work begins now because a lot has been said, a lot has been promised, but how do we keep the momentum going? And how do we turn these recommendations into practical collaborations? And I have the right person to guide us into that. I will hand over to Dr. Stephen Wett from CSRI, who will introduce us to a potential working group, a workshop to take us forward to deepen collaboration and co-design solutions on the ground.
Thanks, Sabrina. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor or honourable, but thank you. All right. So I think a lot's been covered today, and I want to briefly, Sabrina, thank you for putting everything together. It's the first conference I've been to where there's been such strong representation from a sector at a scientific conference. I've never experienced this, so thank you very much for that. We've had a few scientists in the room, and this is one of the objectives, to get scientists and sector specialists into the same room together. Fewer scientists than sector representatives. That's probably a reflection of me. I guess that was my job to do the science bit. But thank you. So the immediate plan forward is policy recommendations. Hassan and Adila have been sitting at the back quietly, keeping their fingers busy, and lots been spoken about, a lot in terms of challenges. But I think there have been some strong recommendations. We need to sit with that information and distill it down into a set of clear, well-worded policy recommendations that will go through to the next convention of parties in Nairobi Convention. We'll carry that forward. So that's the slow burn, an important burn. The immediate plan forward is, as I've articulated, we'll keep on leveraging the sustainability index and the toolkit together. PAMISA is putting together a work plan for that. So that's something that we will keep on doing within the region, together with the WIOMSA index that is being worked on at the moment. And then the other thing is, Sabrina, as you've said, Our Blue Future are putting together an innovation cluster in ports and shipping. The intention is that we will get together for a workshop, and out of that workshop will come something more structured in terms of an action plan, and would give a little bit more structure to the innovation team as it currently stands. And then out of that action plan, ideally some projects. With that, I'm going to hand over to Robin, who's going to talk about membership for Our Blue Future, I think. But let me, while Robin's on his way up, please let me from our side. Thank you very much for all of your inputs, your attendance. It's been really, really valuable. And again, rewarding to have port and shipping and scientists all sitting and wondering at a science conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen, and well done, very well done to our speakers. Thank you. Really, really interesting inputs. I won't go over and recap because I think that's been done very well. And well done very much to our organizers and our moderators, the Gen Z power, which I think is really excellent. It's trying to moderate some different generational speakers is not always easy for the Gen Zs, but they're getting there. So one quick word from me. We mentioned it at the start, Our Blue Future, the multi-stakeholder initiative in the region. The Ports and Shipping Innovation Cluster will be very active under Our Blue Future, we hope, and we would like others to join who are experts in this area or would like to be involved in moving to action. Our Blue Future, just as a reminder, the four main functions are around skills and knowledge, getting a stronger agenda for the blue economy with advocacy and awareness, joint resource mobilization, and delivering multi-stakeholder projects through identification, incubation, and implementation. So with that, I think we won't go on much more. Do you want to say a couple of words on logistics for getting back to the other hotel? Or okay, but before that, can we have a big round of applause, please, for our speakers and our moderators? Very good. Thank you. Excellent. So over to you, Sabrina.
Okay, so thank you, everybody. I've handed you over flyers on what OBF does, our mandate, our vision, and our current partners. So if you'd like to join OBF, please send an email to the email on the flyer, and we will send you the EOI, expression of interest, and you can join Our Blue Future. We have several clusters that you can fit in. You can join more than one cluster. You don't have to feel obliged to just join one. And yeah, so that concludes our whole session. And
We're also giving you a flyer for tomorrow, BBNJ Day. I kindly request you to do a scan here and register because we can only host a limited number of people. But does not mean you can join the whole day, but you can come in. It begins from 9 to 5:30 tomorrow. So we have one room and you can always come in. So when you scan, you'll also be able to see the sessions we are covering. But we are launching several things on BBNJ in the region. Thank you.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time, your ideas, and your passion. The bus to take you back to Pride in Paradise is outside waiting for you. So thank you. And clap for yourselves. And it leaves now, so chop chop. Oh, there's an award ceremony tonight at the Pride in Paradise. So we need to be seated by 6. And then we have
Thank